Hey, nurses and caregivers out there. I'm Rita Batchley, and this is Coffee with the Nurse's Nurse, where you will get tips and strategies on how to put the self care back into healthcare. And today's topic is you're not alone. And the reason, what I want to do and what I'm going to present, and you're going to want to stick around for, is a guided meditation. And I know for me that when I listen to a guided meditation, I definitely no longer feel alone. And when it comes to stressful feelings like what's been going on with the Ukraine being attacked and the pandemic, where nurses are being blamed and shamed for what's going on out there, we got a lot of feelings. And it's easy to hide from these feelings and stuff them down. And you know what? When that happens, anger, sadness, and grief, they could become our enemies, and they can cause us to spiral into a deep depression. It's when we become indifferent to what we feel, that fight, flight, frozen feeling that pushes us into an indifferent, incapacitated state. And that's where we lose our ability to connect. And when we lose that ability to connect, the depression and all of the it just anxiety, panic attacks, you name it. And where does that come from? And what do we do about it? Well, stick around, because we're going to jump into that meditation shortly. But for now, I wanted to go over a little thing called moral distress, which I got this off of the National Nurses United website. And that moral distress arises when one knows the right thing to do, but institutional constraints make it nearly impossible to pursue the right course of action. And for example, I want to say, like, when your staffing gets cut at the hospital and you're working with one or two or maybe even three nurses short of your normal shift workers, and then you're told that overtime's been mandated. And not only that, then the nurses get blamed by telling them that it's their fault that this is happening. That if we would just suck it up and work harder. And that is not sustainable, as we've gone over. And it puts us into that moral distress. Like right now in the Ukraine, they're being attacked unprovoked and being told, if you just surrender, everything's going to be all right. This is your fault. Why aren't you surrendering? People are like, what? So, yeah, when I see the stuff on the news right now, it's really disturbing. And I try not to look at it because it really hurts. It really hurts a lot. And when I lost my home in Paradise from the 2018 wildfires, I was like a zombie. And that was 40,000 people that were homeless in, 3 days or whatever that fire took. But, we're talking about millions of people in the Ukraine, and just like, as a nurse, I'm sensitive. I'm an empathetic person, and that feels really crappy to me. And put a little thumbs up in the comments if you relate to this, because we're connected. We're not alone. When someone out there is hurting, I'm hurting too. And that's why I wrote my book, Labor Pains, because it's all about nurses caring and coming together and unifying to keep the spirit of nursing alive. And that's what I need to do to stay healthy, is to unite and connect with people. And I did that in my nursing union organization, but I also did it on other levels, in other ways, with 12-step work and meditation groups. And all I know is that when it comes to powerlessness and these feelings that I struggled with, this hopelessness, it becomes easy to shame and blame, but when I want to feel better, I got to be lifted up. And with the fire, I had no choice. I was on my knees. I had nothing. Like these people in the Ukraine, literally, like you see them with little babies escaping with nothing, just their lives. And well, their lives, not that that's not a big deal. And for me, I was rendered to that place where I had to ask for help, and help came in. And there was just so many beautiful experiences of people reaching out and people being supportive and kind, and just leadership stepping in and coming from all over and just giving, that encouragement and that support. And I know for me, that meant a lot. Like we all suffer. We all have those moments. And we all know those patients who suffer and they're in pain, and we see them like over and over again in the emergency departments and in the units that we work. And they become defined by their illness. And it's not their fault, but it comes to a point where we could either become defined by our illness and our pain and suffering, or we become defined by our triumph over that. And we do that together. And we do that because we make a difference when we know that we're not alone. And one of the stories, well, this is like a candlelight vigil, and it's outside of DC. And I know a lot of nurses showed up and came out for the many nurses who died from COVID and COVID-19 and all of the misinformation that was out there, and people being told they couldn't wear masks, and nurses being fired because they insisted on wearing masks. And we're told that, because there weren't enough N95 masks, that they got fired. There were nurses fired for wearing masks at the beginning of the pandemic. But this coming together, and I'm not trying to blame and shame. This is about the solution of coming together and allowing our greater selves, our spiritual selves, to transcend and transform the pain. And for me, prayer and meditation is a big part of my recovering and my self-care process. And I hope that by watching this and participating in this, that you too will feel that. And this is going on to YouTube, and you can download it onto an MP3 later on. I'm at the Nurse's Nurse YouTube channel, and Rita Batchley RN Facebook, the Nurse's Nurse. And this is a guided meditation. And one of the ways that this has worked for me is one time, and I know a lot of nurses can relate, I had a patient who died under our care. And I worked in labor and delivery, and mommies aren't supposed to die. And that's like freaking devastating when that happens. And this woman, she gave birth and the baby was okay, and she was bleeding out. And that she got rushed into the operating room, and all of us nurses, there was like 6 of us that were just like devastated. So we all went into an empty patient room, and we said a prayer. We asked for guidance and protection. And I got to tell you, it was short because, we couldn't leave our other patients uncared for. So it was a short but very powerful moment that we acknowledged this like gut-wrenching pain that this woman was probably gone. And in fact, she did die. But at the moment, we didn't know, but we knew, but we didn't know. But we surrendered this to a power that was outside of us, because we were powerless. We did everything we could. And we just came together, and we we said this prayer. So I'm going to just take a moment to set up a little background music and ask you to hold this space for this meditation, because I found it really powerful, and I hope that you will too. So here goes. I want you to set an intention and feel relaxed. I want you to feel relaxed, free, light, and complete. Find a comfortable position. Sit down, lie down or recline. Close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. Take slow, deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Tune into your body and your physical experience. Tune into your physical, internal, and external experience. In your mind, if your mind wanders, gently refocus on your breath. Feel the tensions in your body. What are they telling you? Give yourself permission to relax. Breathe into the tension in your body. Tell your body it has permission to rest. You can return to your daily life soon. For now, this time is a time of relaxation. Take all your negative thoughts and feelings and wash them away. Like a window cleaner, squeegeeing them away. Wipe them into a bucket off of your rag. Surrender these feelings, your memories. Squeegee off all the suffering of the world and surrender all that energy into that bucket to be dissolved and redirected, transformed by the universal intelligence and love that knows exactly what to do with it. Surrender your ownership of all of those feelings. Become light with serenity and peace. Listen to your body. Listen to your heart. And listen to any feeling underneath any reactivity. Any feelings of hurt, of shame, of guilt. Let go of rejection, fear, any false accusations made by others. Breathe. Breathe and say to yourself, I am strong. I can be myself without retreating. I can own the courage to be myself and to be a strong and loving person. Remember, differences are normal. Disagreements are normal. Because being unique is normal. Anyone who feels threatened by you is threatened by his or her own fear and anxiety, not by what you bring or by bringing your true self. Anyone who feels threatened by you is threatened by his or her own fear and anxiety, not by what you bring or by bringing yourself. Surrender any defensiveness. Surrender any blaming. Squeegee off your body and your mind. Squeegee all these feelings into a rag and then rinse that rag in the bucket of water that's connected to the universal intelligence and love. Say to yourself, I am not these negative feelings. I am not these feelings. These are not mine. Embrace the thoughts that you are not these feelings. These are not me. Breathe. Breathe in and know that you cannot change anyone. You cannot change, nor do you have the power to make anyone feel, think, or behave in any way. You only have the power to change yourself. No one has the power to make you feel anything. No one has the power to change you. Concentrate on your breathing. Concentrate on your suffering. And concentrate on relaxing and letting go of that suffering. Envision someone you respect, someone coming up to you. Maybe it's a spiritual saint, a leader, or your belief in God or a higher power. It doesn't matter, only that this being is safe, caring, mature, loving, accepting, and strong. They say to you, you are not what others think of you. You are you, a wonderful gift to yourself and to the world around you. They say you are not what others think of you. You are you, a wonderful gift to yourself and to the world around you. Feel the earth under you, under your body, under your feet. Feel the earth. Holding you up. Rest on the earth. Remember, you are always being held up and supported with power and strength. If you are not aware of your feelings, don't worry. Love yourself and accept that you're not ready to feel what you feel. It is okay. Others have their own way of thinking and feeling about you, but this is not the real you. It is a projection, an imprinting of the system that we needed to survive. We can let go of these thoughts and feelings about you and what others feel about you. Let your body feel heavy, your head and shoulders, your chest, your abdomen, your legs, and your arms. Let the stress drain out from you and let drip, drip, drip into the bucket. And let every part of your body go down into the water, release it into the earth, and let yourself be refreshed and alive and at peace. You could come back, or you can choose to continue to rest and to fall asleep, or you can breathe and begin to open your eyes. And only when you're ready, begin to stir. Do it slowly. Thank your body for working with you and for letting you guide it into peace. And that is the meditation. And I want to put a shout out here for, you might feel a little spaced out after that meditation. Feel that energy and the clearing and the connectedness to your spiritual solution, your spiritual self, your higher self, and the higher laws of humanity that say that we're connected, and that a universal love and a universal protector will guide you. But we have to ask for it. And I want to put a shout out here is I got this meditation from Jerry Wise. He's on a YouTuber, Jerry Wise Relationship Systems, and also Master Stephen Co. That's spelled C-O. Stephen with a PH and Co. He is the head of the American Asian Studies, and I do his meditation Between Hearts. And this is kind of like an amalgamation. I don't know if even that's the right word, but it's coming together of these meditations and just gives me this sense of the spirit, and that I know that I'm not alone, and that I could either live in the disease or in the problem, which is to blame and shame, or I could get into the solution and pay it forward. And that's what I'm doing here with this YouTube channel, paying it forward, because we need leadership. We need people to show us how to do that. And we don't need aggression and bullying. And it's the expectation that you can use your voice for good. And I love that, because when I was a nurse, I am still a nurse, but when I was out there working in the trenches, working in the healthcare, in the hospital, I was part of an organization, and here I am in the middle here, and I'm in DC. I did a lot of different rallies, but when I allowed others to know my pain, and I allowed them, and I asked for help, I was given support, and I was uplifted. And I know that you can too. And I know nurses are, that it's not our instinct to put ourselves first and to ask for help. But I know that it's necessary, because we can't do this alone. And we have to ask for help, and we have to keep that self-care going. Keep looking for people, like-minded people, and getting out there and sharing this information. If you got any value out of this, please share this with your fellow nurses, friends, coworkers. Remember, put the self-care back into healthcare, because you can't give away something you don't got. And I am Rita Batchley. I am an RN, and this is Coffee with the Nurse's Nurse. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned. We'll be back next week. I'll be putting this YouTube up on YouTube. And I'm just going to keep showing up and doing this, and keep you guys in my heart and in my prayers, because we need nurses, and we need nurses out there like you to keep the compassion and the empathy going, because nurses, the world is dependent on us to help this world, to fix this broken healthcare system and to make it better for everybody. I love you, and God bless.